Hey everybody, this is Roy Canning and I am doing one of these review roundup videos, and this gives me an opportunity to talk about a few games that other people in the studio have reviewed and maybe give my thoughts on them, maybe to add to what they've said already, or just to kind of give my opinion on these specific games that other people have already taken a look at. So one of the things I want to talk about, the first one here is KeyForge Winds of Exchange. Me and Z played this some, and me and Tom looked through different packs and things like that. This is the newest set of KeyForge. This is Ghost Galaxies taking over KeyForge, and they did a big Game Found campaign. And the interesting new thing about this one is that now there are tokens in the deck where you take the top part of your deck and use it as a token. There's a bunch of different characters and creatures that use those tokens. I really enjoy the KeyForge system. I love the way that kind of everything comes together. The token thing is kind of interesting because the fact that you have 3 houses in KeyForge, if you're like the main house that you have those tokens in, is probably going to be used a lot more in this set than the other houses. So if you have a deck with a specific token that's like in your favorite faction, you're probably really going to enjoy that even more. And it's just interesting because if you end up turning the characters into tokens that are from the other factions, and you can end up spamming the one faction a ton of times, you'll probably get a lot of headway. So just interesting gameplay in this. I give this an 8 overall. I still enjoy KeyForge. I'm not out there buying all the packs. I'm not like going crazy about all the different stuff. But if somebody wants to play a casual game of KeyForge, I really do enjoy the game, even though I probably will get crushed. The next one here is Dragonbond, Lords of Vaala. This was an interesting game that I played with Joey and Tom, and it's just an interesting area control game with dragons. I think maybe Rod was involved in that game too. But yeah, you're trying to build up, get your different special abilities on your dragon, but also there's event cards that come out that put more power in different places, and you're trying to set yourself up, right? One of the things I thought was weird about this is that, I mean, the whole game is about bonding like 2 characters together, the merge thing. I don't know, that's just kind of like a weird thing in games for me, especially like the way that it happens in this game, where it's kind of like you can almost be forced into like teaming up with the human and the dragon. I love the idea behind this game. I love a lot of this, but it really fell flat for me. I'm giving this one a 4 overall, and nobody at the table really was into the game that much. My next one here is Mission Control Critical Orbit. This is a game, basically it is a roll and write cooperative game where you're all kind of working together on your different tasks to try to make sure that the space mission goes off. There's a board that's like Sudoku, there's a board that's very much like Tetris, there's a board that's like trying to make sure to do the right math for the numbers and boxes, and then there's another, like the main person has like their board where they're trying to figure out how to have everything work properly with the rows and columns with their board and stuff like that. This was an interesting game to me. I'm not normally a big fan of roll and writes. It just feels like checking numbers and boxes for the most part. Sudoku is fine, it was okay, it's like a puzzle, but for some reason I just didn't jive with this game that much. I'm giving it a 5 overall. I can see people that love roll and writes and love this theme just really having a blast with this, and I do like cooperative games, but for this one, the fact that it was like kind of real-time-ish and we're kind of like rushing through all the different stuff, I didn't enjoy it that much. The next one here is Beaver Creek. This is a silly little stacking game where you're stacking all these different beavers with logs on top of them, trying to get rid of all of your logs to win the game. You're going to be rolling a dice each turn. It shows you how many logs you have to put out, how many beavers you have to put out, but then also a rule about putting them out. Maybe you have to use scissor fingers to put things down. Maybe you have to use your offhand to put them on there. Maybe there's different rules about your logs can only touch 1 beaver, that sort of thing, where it gives you different rules that you have to do to build it. And you play through the game trying to knock over the dam that you guys are all building. It's definitely competitive. If somebody knocks a piece over, you get rid of your stuff. I just had fun with this. I like stacking games in general. I rank Rhino Hero really high. This fits in that vein. I'm giving this one an 8 just because I had so much fun with it. And this is a game that I actually went to Gen Con and bought a copy for myself so I could take it home and play with my kids. And I have, and it's been a lot of fun. The next one here is Clank Adventuring Party. This is the expansion to Clank that actually pushes it up to like 6 players. Normally Clank goes up to 4. I'm going to push it up to higher player counts. This also adds individual decks for each of the factions. It adds some more like tokens you can explore with. I actually want to talk about this and adding it into basically Clank Catacombs, because you can take this and put it in your Clank Catacombs game. Not only will it give you different meeples for your different characters, you can have asymmetrical decks for everybody. You can also just push it up to the higher player count as well. It allows you to play the game, and of course, you really have to be in the mood to play a longer game. I don't know that Clank, for most people, is going to work super well at higher player count games just because there's going to be more downtime, more stuff going on. but this allows you to do it and allows you to do it like seamlessly. I love all the new card options of this as well. I like the fact that there's asymmetrical decks. I like that there's facts of new secrets to explore and new things like that. And I like the fact that you can use this with regular Underground Clank, and you can still get it to work with Catacombs as well. It's just a lot of fun. I gave this a 7.5. And then my last one here, my number one game here is Thunder Road Vendetta. I played the old Thunder Road back in the day, not when it first came out because that was forever ago, but I did play a version of it going through my like gaming career or whatever basically, and it's an enjoyable like dice chucking game where you're blowing stuff up. Thunder Road Vendetta is a blast to play. They took it, they streamlined it, they made it better, they made it have meaningful choices in it, they made it have all these different cool actions if you have the expansions you can play out. There's tons of different cool dice that allow you to, like, if you have the road die, you can go further. If you have the fire dice, you could have a chance of blowing up. All sorts of different stuff, all sorts of different events that can happen as you're flipping things over. This game is just a riot and a blast to play. I played it with so many different people. I played with my fiance and had a blast. I played with my kids and had a blast with them. I played with my gaming group and had a blast with them. I played with everybody here in the studio. I've had a blast with them. I just had a blast playing Thunder Road Vendetta, and I think it's an amazing game, so I'm giving it a 9. This is definitely excellent to me, and it's a game that I had to have in my collection, and I really enjoy having it. Anyway, that is my games for my rapid roundup here. Thank you for joining me, getting my thoughts on a few of these games. Anyway, I've been Roy Cannaday, and I'll see you on the next one.